Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is another first impressions and tutorial on a new collab, and I'm talking about the Makeup Revolution and Friends collab, which I was really excited when I saw this come out because I'm a huge Friends fan. It is my favorite TV show, so I was really excited to purchase from this collab. If you've never heard of Makeup Revolution, they are a UK brand and they are a more affordable brand as well. They're found in, I know Ulta sells them, but they're definitely on the cheaper end of prices. So in the collection they released a full a Friends palette, and then they did 3 individual ones, so Monica, Phoebe, and Rachel. They also did 3 lipsticks for also Monica, Rachel, and Phoebe. They did 6 lip glosses, which was all 6 of the Friends characters. They came out with 2 makeup bags, a mirror, and a set of 3 scrunchies. So that was the whole collection. I didn't buy everything from the collection. I wanted to buy enough that I could do like a dedicated video on, but I didn't want to overdo it and buy more than I really needed to. I just kind of wanted to get something from each category. By the time I got on the website, there was some things that I wanted that sold out, like the mirror, the lipsticks were all sold out, and a couple of the glosses. So I got my hands on the few things that I wanted to, but I did miss out on some, and I didn't obviously want to go and make another purchase for them. So the things that I did get, of course, I had to get this makeup bag here. So they had this one, and then they had one with the lobster on it, but I ended up going with this one, just a classic little black one. I like the size of this. It's not too large. Like, I don't think I could use this for traveling, but it is a decent enough size that if I'm just going on like a weekend trip or something, like I could fit quite a bit in here, or just taking stuff on the go. The next item that I picked up was one of the 3 9-pan palettes. The one I ended up getting was the Rachel palette. Now I really like the Rachel one and the Monica palette, but I went with the Rachel one. I just like the pink and everything, and so on there has a picture of Central Perk. I did also pick up one of the glosses. Gloss that I wanted was the Rachel, because I think it was like more of like a light nude. So that one was sold out. I ended up getting the Monica gloss, which just looks like that. The lid on here is very iconic to Friends, and it's like a mauve color. I'm wearing it on my lips right now, but I do have a lip pencil under it. It's a mauve color with like glitter in it, like lots of glitter. And like I said, the lipsticks did sell out, so unfortunately I wasn't able to get one of those to try out. And the last thing that I picked up was the larger Friends palette here. So that's just what the outer packaging looks like. When I was reading like comments, what people were thinking of this collection, a lot of people agreed that they really like missed the mark with this collection. They didn't really have like the iconic purple or the iconic yellow. Like, I don't know, there's just some things that people felt like missed the mark, and they just kind of slapped their name on them, and that was kind of it. However, now that I have things here in person, there's not much more they could have really added to make it a Friends collab, because like Friends isn't about makeup. It's kind of hard to pick shades that are going to be wearable, colors that people are going to want to buy and represent the show. Now when I actually dive into the palette, you'll see like they do have all of these colors in here that like are the dots, you know, the classic Friends dots. They have all those colors in there. I really think the only thing that they were missing was this like color of purple, but other than that I feel like they did really have everything in there, and they had like pictures and everything. The only thing I think they could have been a little bit more original with was the names, which I'll get more into. But other than that, I think that the collection does a pretty good job. At least like packaging wise and everything, like is really, you know, Friends vibes. So this is the larger Friends palette. It is a tin carton kind of packaging, but it feels pretty heavy and like pretty sturdy, which I was quite surprised by. And it just is like one of those like TV, I don't know what you call these things, but you know exactly what I mean. And it says Friends and Revolution on there. It also has the one with, because all of their episodes start with that. So I thought that was a nice little touch. And then when you open it up, you do get a mirror, which I was really excited about. I love when brands include mirrors. And then here is the colors. Now, if this was not a Friends collab, I would not have purchased this palette. It's just not something I need. The colors don't scream to me. It's pretty neutral. I mean, there's definitely some colors in there, but nothing that's like super vibrant and really pops. It's just a very simple palette that I'm sure we've seen before. So for me, I did buy it because of, you know, the fact that it was Friends. However, at the same time, I would have bought it regardless because I'm just a Friends fan and a collector. It's definitely a bonus in my opinion when the collab is colors that I will use, regardless of whether they're super original or super, you know, eye-catching and never seen before, whatever it may be. As long as I can like get use out of the palette, it's like, you know what, it's not a waste. I'll give a bit of a closer look there. The colors are nice, they're just nothing, you know, really spectacular and out there. And like I said, they do have all of the colors, you know, that kind of go along with the colored dots in between the letters. They also have these three here, which I think could be considered highlighters is what I'm assuming. Now, this is what I mean with the names. They could have been a little more original because the names on here are just all characters that have been seen throughout the show. Like obviously we have all of the original 6 characters. We have Ursula, Emily, Paulo, Fun Bobby, Ugly Naked Guy. Like we have all of those characters. So I feel like it could have been maybe a little more original and like picked iconic words and quotes that they've used throughout this series rather than just, you know, names of characters. That was one thing that I felt could have been done maybe a little bit better just to make it slightly more Friends vibed. But other than that, I was pretty happy when I got this in the mail. This is a more affordable brand, so when I got this in the mail, I wasn't expecting this to be high quality, amazing shadows. I didn't pay that kind of price for it. This one was a little bit more expensive, like it was maybe $47 for this size of palette, which is a little bit much because if you think about it, I could have got a Morphe palette for probably a little bit less, and I find Morphe pigmentation to be better than this, but it is still more affordable than obviously our higher end brands. So I won't say this is the best quality palette ever because it's definitely not, but you're also not paying high quality price in my opinion. You'll see in the video though, most of the shades worked really well. The only one I had some issues with was Mr. Geller, which is a deep like brown kind of shade. That one did not work for me at all. But other than that, all the other shadows performed really well. Like you can see on my eyes, this is after 10 hours. They're still looking pretty good. The shadow is still there. It's still vibrant. All of the other shades blended out really easily. The only other thing that I kind of noticed is I feel like my eyes look more textured with these mattes than normal. Like I use some matte formulas and my eyes almost look like blurred, whereas this one is opposite. They look even more textured. Now the next item that I picked up was the Rachel palette, so just a little 9 pan. And when we open this up, it does have a little mirror as well, which is nice. And there is the shadows there. This one here is kind of what sold me on this palette. It's a really beautiful bronze, which I'm using on my eyes today. I haven't tried the other shadows in here, like the mattes and stuff, to see how they perform compared to the larger palette. The names for this one are a little bit better, but I feel still could be a little more original, like Dinosaur, 90s. Like those to me, Crush, those are just super, super basic. But ones like On a Break, Barney's, Tag, like those I kind of get. So I feel like the names is what really is lacking for me. Like, I don't know. I don't see Rachel and think, oh, Dinosaur. I feel like they could have done that a little bit better with at least. And the last thing was the gloss. I do like the gloss. The color for me is not like my absolute favorite. I really wish I could have got the Rachel, which was like just a nice nude pink, because that's all I wear. But the formula is nice on this, and you'll see like I talked more about it. Like it's not sticky, but it's really high shine, really pigmented. It has like a coconut scent to it. It's a nice gloss for sure. I do enjoy the formula of this. I just wish I would have been able to get the color that I wanted. But yeah, that's everything that I purchased. Once again, for the price, like I'm not mad at it. I think I spent about $70 Canadian for the 4 different items, which is not a bad price. But yeah, that's really all I have to say about this collection. Now we're just gonna get into how I created this look today, and then you'll see kind of how everything performed for yourself. So we're just gonna get right into the tutorial. So my eyes are already prepped. I'm using my Anastasia eye primer. I've already laid that down. I also put a little bit of powder on my under eyes in case there is any fallout. The powder is just gonna catch it and not ruin the rest of my makeup. So the first shade I'm gonna go in with is Carol. Just pop this kind of into the crease and blend it. That shade worked really well. It's not too pigmented, but definitely has that pigment there and shows up. Blends really easily, very effortlessly. Next, I'm taking Palo down here. This is just basically a slightly deeper version of the shade that I just used. And I'm going to use this to deepen up the look. And I'm going to focus this more on the outer portion and just kind of bring the excess product inwards. I'm really intrigued to try out this shade. This is Phoebe, and it's just a very vibrant, straight up orange. And I really want to see what this one, like how this one's going to perform. So I am going to use a little bit of that, but I'm just going to put it directly in the crease just because I want to keep this still on the more neutral side and not too bright and like orange, but just a little bit. Next, I'm taking Mr. Geller. This is just a deep, like chocolatey brown, and I'm obviously using this on the outer corner to really deepen it up. Okay, I'm not liking that shade. I'm gonna take Crush. This is from the Rachel palette because it's a similar shade, and just see if that one works any better. Yeah, no, I'm not liking that at all. It doesn't really do anything. Like, you can see it's not really sitting on the lid. It's just kind of falling on the cheek. I'm just grabbing a different palette. This is just a Anastasia one, and I'm going to use the brown in that palette because this brown is not cooperating. I want to show you guys the difference in those shades. This eye is using the two different browns in the Revolution palettes, and then I had to go over with the Anastasia one, and you can still see some patchiness and a ton of fallout here. This side is just using the Anastasia brown. Really, really good. Obviously I have to go in and blend all the edges, but very little fallout here. Just way better. So that brown was an absolute miss and will not be using that again. One other thing I'm noticing, and I'm not really sure if it's the shadows for sure or if it's because of the lighting or what it is, but I noticed like it kind of looks like my eyes are a lot more textured, and these are matte shades, so it's not because there's like a sheen in them that's emphasizing it. Like, my lids just look really textured and it does not look smooth at all. So I don't like that. I think that's about as good as I'm going to be able to get it. So I'm going to go in with just a metallic shade. And I think the one I want to use is Chip. And this is from the Rachel palette because it just looks like a really nice bronze. So I am spraying it with a little bit of setting spray just because I want it to be really metallic. Okay, so that's kind of it for the top lids there. I actually went and looked at it in different lighting, like over at my vanity, and it looks way better in person than it does, at least from what I'm seeing here, probably because of the harsh lighting and everything. So I'm really not mad at how this look has come out as of right now. Everything kind of came together and looks pretty good. Moving on to the lower lash line, I'm pretty much just going to be doing the same colors. So first going in with Carol and then just running that across the lower lash line. And then going in with Palo, mostly the outer half, and then just kind of dragging it in slightly. I'm going to skip using the brown in the palette and just go in with the Anastasia one just in the very outer corner. Okay, so I have my lashes on, my eyes are done. The lashes I'm wearing are from Velour. They're the Feeling Myself, my favorite ones from them. I just find they suit my eyes so well. I did the mascara and everything. Also, I used the Velour Lash and Go liner lash glue kind of hybrid thing. I mentioned this in my haul. I also used it in my first impressions. I absolutely love this product, you guys. Like, if you're someone who likes to do eyeliner, or if you just find lash glue is too difficult, or takes too much time, like I definitely recommend getting this because this is all I use now and I love it a lot. Anyways, a couple more things to finish off. I'm gonna highlight. For my inner corner, I'm gonna go into the Rachel palette and I'm using On a Break, Iconic. I'm also gonna apply just a little bit of that on my brow bone. And then I haven't done my face highlighter yet. I'm gonna try these ones out that are in the palette. So I think I'll mix these two shades here because that's probably a little dark. And we'll try it out and see how that goes. Actually, not bad. I'm gonna wet my face just so that it kind of makes it a little more intense. Yeah, it's actually pretty nice, but I'm gonna go in with one of my favorite highlighters. This is actually from the Benefit Cheek Leaders Bronze Squad palette, and I'm using the highlighter in Cookie. They do sell this in a like individual full pan as well. This highlighter is one of my favorites though. Now the last thing to try out is the gloss. I got the shade Monica. Honestly, I wanted the Rachel's gloss, but they were sold out of it. This is very large size. I really like the packaging on this one because this is definitely a very iconic picture and color scheme and stuff. And the gloss looks really pretty. It has very intense shimmer in it and it's very, very pigmented. I did put a little bit of a lip liner on. This is just from Pat McGrath and I'm just gonna put this over top. It has a coconut scent to it, which I really like, and very pigmented, very high shine, not sticky, like no strings or anything like that. It does have glitter in it if that's something that you're not looking for. It's not too intense, but you definitely notice it if you put like light directly to it. But yeah, it's pretty, it's a pretty color, it's comfortable, and yeah, not much else to say about it. Alright you guys, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this review and this tutorial. I do really like how everything came out. Definitely gives me fall vibes. So yeah, if you haven't done so already, make sure that you do subscribe to my channel and also give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed these types of videos. And that's really all I have to say. So thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video.